speaking to people is what you do. Why spoken word?
Um, I have been a poet for as long as I can remember. I've been a poet since I was in elementary school. Both my parents are writers, so yeah, both my parents are poets. Well, I consider them to be poets. Um, I forgot what I was about to say. Are you basically asking me like how I got into it?
Yeah, I asked a quite vague question, but
Oh, so yeah, my mom, well, my dad, he wrote me a poem, and it was called "I Try So Hard." I still have it, and it was something that he wrote like early in the morning. I don't know how old I was. I think I might have been like a toddler, but I have it in my hope chest back home in Ohio. And a hope chest is basically like this thing that my mom made for me, and it was just it's a big ass tote with like all my memories in it. So like baby clothes, just old shit, and so I put it in there, or put his poem in there, and then my mom. She was a huge influence because she used to write poetry all the time growing up, but she had all her poems on her laptop, and I guess it crashed and she lost all her poems, and
oh no.
she just completely stopped writing, which I never understood. But I remember she took me to a church for an open mic, and she did this like really beautiful poem about her life. I thought it was the most beautiful thing ever. And I'm sorry.
No, you good. 'Cause this is gripping.
Gripping. I thought it was the most beautiful poem in my life. I remember she cried and everything. And after that, I was like, I want to do that. That was cool.
Okay.
But when it comes to poetry, I'm sorry, am I rambling?
No, that's the point of this.
Oh. But when it comes to poetry, yeah, I started writing when I was in elementary school. And then I was on the poetry, no, I was in the poetry club. Like, I've really been writing since I was little. I forgot what I was getting ready to say, though. Oh, and then I went into slam poetry in college. So I don't know if you know what slam poetry is.
Yeah, that's my next question. What is slam?
Slam poetry is competitive poetry. Literally, it's think of like think of battle rap mixed in with def comedy. Like that's literally what it is. So the structure
Okay.
is like def comedy, but the battle of words is like just like battle rap. That's exactly what it is. And then you have judges, random judges. If it's ran right, there are 5 judges that do not know the poets at all, and it's literally just a battle of words and perception. And it's low-key a battle of luck too, because you can go into a room and you do a poem, and so you have a score from 0 to 10. So you can be 0.1, 1.1,
Oh wow.
all the way up to 10. And the goal is to get to 30. So basically, like, these random people can score your shit. Like, people have ended up with zeros. People have ended up with, it's low to high too. So people have ended up with 3s. Like, it's a very competitive thing, but it also teaches you a lot of, it teaches you to be confident.
Okay.
Yeah, it does. Again, am I rambling?
No. Like,
Okay.
cause yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, so it teaches you to be confident. So like I said before, I am an actress. And one of the things that helped me be an actress was being on stage and honestly being judged for my work. I mean, how do I explain this? I write for me, so respectfully fuck the judges, but at the same time, it does. Because one of the main reasons why I started writing, like, despite everything else, I felt like I was ignored a lot as a kid. So the only time that I would really ever be seen was when I was doing something creative or getting in trouble. So,
I feel up.
like, my philosophy was always just, if I do poetry, you have to hear me. I'm the only person on stage. You have to fucking hear me. You can't, I mean, unless you go to the bathroom, but you can't.
Right.
There ain't nobody else up here but me. So you have to see me. Same thing with singing. Same thing with theater, because I got my degree in theater. Like, I've been a poet my whole life, basically.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Very long-winded answer.
Nah. It sounds like you've been communicating. You've been a communicator your whole life. And
Clearly, because I feel like I just rambled this entire time.
but like that's what shows are. I don't want to limit this to a podcast, but in this setting, that's what we're here to hear people ramble. One of my biggest pet peeves in a podcast is when the host like doesn't let the person there talk, because it's like if you want to do that, nigga, just have a solo episode. Like what the fuck. So yeah.
You know what I think is weird? I'm sorry, but solo
Wait.
podcasts are fucking weird to me.
You think so? Just a bunch of monologues and soliloquies.
Yes, you just talking to yourself. Wait, isn't that what you do?
Yeah, it's hella. Well, no. Oh no, I'm not gonna. I was kind of like, well.
I'm so sorry.
Nah, but I mostly do like short videos, just like, yeah.
Oh
but,
yeah, okay. I'm talking about like long, like podcasts.
Oh yeah, nah, just literally like a monologue.
You talking to yourself.
Yeah, nah. When I first started, like before I was interviewing people, I was trying to do that essentially because I got my degree in history. And I taught eighth grade.
I can see that.
Preach. I taught eighth grade for 1 year.
Yeah, you did tell me.
Oh
that.
yeah, we taught. Yeah, that was hell. But not because of my students. Honestly, my students, I love them. I miss them. Like I think about them to this day. I taught like 9 years ago. It wasn't them. It was just the structure. And I was fresh out of college. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
I actually went to substitute teaching fresh out of college.
Oh.
And I've been working with kids. I've been working with the youth since high school. So like volunteer, nonprofit, education.
Yeah.
I actually thought about going back to school. Well, not going back. Yeah, going back to school to get my teaching degree. I was going to get my teaching certification and everything.
Okay.
I wanted to work with interrelated students, which is, I don't like saying special needs because I feel like there's a negative connotation to that.
Definitely.
So that's why I prefer to say
Sometimes.
interrelated students, specifically ADHD, behavioral students, just because I feel like those are the kids that get overlooked a lot. Like, because I had an IEP, I was one of those kids.
Okay.
And you get like, not only do you get overlooked, but people look down on you. And I wanted to let those kids know because I've decided to just stop working with the youth for the same reason. The structure is bullshit. A lot of these schools, a lot of these nonprofit organizations do not give a fuck about your kids. And you just have to, as somebody who works with the youth, whether you're a mentor or a teacher, like,
Yeah.
it's hard because you know that they're not getting what they deserve.
Yeah.
And then there are teachers in the schools who try really fucking hard, but the system is so fucked up, and it's like some of them are just giving up. Some of them are exhausted. Like I'm sorry. I could ramble about this for the longest because it really upsets the fuck out of me how bad our educational system is.
Yeah. My sister, I think it's her 15th year teaching, 15 years. Wow. Yeah, my mom's been in the school system for about 30 years, 30 plus. So like, I come from like a family, I feel like of educators, and yeah, I think one of the worst things that ever happened to this country. Well, that's hard to say. One of the worst things that happened to the education system in this country is No Child Left Behind.
I've heard that.
Because
Say that.
it's just I don't know. It just makes it to where it doesn't matter whether or not the children learn; they're just going to get passed on. And opposition and resistance creates.
That shit pisses me off so.
Yeah, it creates
Because
strength.
there's nothing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that there's nothing wrong with getting left behind if you need to. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that shit.
Yeah.
It is okay. It is all right if you need to skip a grade. Like, every kid is not on the same level. It is all right. It's the shame and shit that comes with it.
Yeah,
And people, or especially within our community, people don't want to admit that sometimes their kids might be interrelated, and they don't want to get them the support or the help that they need. So, let me be quiet.
nah, go ahead. Hey, we're here for this.
Be quiet. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. I think to kind of go off something you said just now, like not every child learns the same or learns at the same pace and learns the same style, and so what you end up with is this system that promotes one, like a specific type of learner or a specific type of student. So then you have those who can thrive in that. Those who can thrive in that, cool. But then I feel like as we're learning more and more over time, and especially as we have more access to more things, we're learning that there are like trillions of different types of students, trillions of different types of learning styles. And one analogy that an old friend of mine used to use, actually my old cult leader, he used to say, yeah, we'll get to that.
We're not about to just nigga. What? Excuse me.
I mean, let's call it what it is.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
I need details to that.
Well, I'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll definitely cover that. Well, one thing he used to say is, which I agree with. One of the things that I agree with, like you can't teach you can't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, and so you have a bunch of fish out here being judged by how they get up a tree, and it's like,
That's a good analogy. I don't like him though. That's a good analogy.
things went left.
Oh, did you fight him?
No. Very large man. Honestly, I compare it to like Chris Rock and Will Smith. He'd be Will Smith. Different size, different height, different reach.
First of all, just because somebody is bigger than you does not mean that you cannot fight back.
No, I agree.
Period.
Soft tissues.
Don't get me wrong. Pick and choose your battles.
Right.
Don't be stupid. But if somebody is putting your life in danger, defend yourself.
Yeah.
Period. Small or not, defend yourself.
I'm gonna put this pillow here.
That's just how I feel about it.
Oh yeah. Wait, let me move this up a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay. So more on spoken word.
Oh yeah, that's what we were.
Yeah.
Right.
Because slam.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, and I'm so interested in that because I have a cousin who did slam
I
poetry.
still want to hear this cult story, but it's fine. It's fine.
Have you never seen the episode I did? Well, Dan, I didn't know you then. You gotta go back and look at my page. Go back and look at the video, y'all. Yeah, we did a video on it, me and Amber.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
No, that's on me.
It's okay. It was before we
that's
knew.
on me.
It was before we met.
Yeah, but still, that's on me. I should did my research.
Scroll the page, y'all. But slam, like, what do you think is the most important? I know you said confidence. What do you think is the most important element of a slam poet?
The most important element. That's a really cool question. The most important element to a slam poet?
Mm-hmm.
Be authentic. Because honestly, the best poets have their own thing, like their own unique thing about themselves. That's why so many people, at least within our community, are able to pinpoint certain people's poetry just based off of how they present it and how they write. If that makes sense. So just be authentic. Just be yourself.
Okay.
I know that that's like such a cliche answer, but just be yourself. Also, what else? You said the most important component to a slam poet?
Yeah.
Can we come back to that question? Because I feel like there's another one.
Yeah. Well, I asked this, like, writer's block.
I'm in the middle of one. Real bad.
Really? So, like, what is in the past, because since you're currently in a block, we don't know what will take you out of the block, but like in the past, how have you navigated through writer's block as a poet?
I don't. I'm trying to think. When it comes to writer's block, I honestly just try to write when I feel it. I'm a very sensitive and emotional person. So my best poems tend to come when I'm feeling something very deeply. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, there have been times where a lot of poems will come to me when I'm in the shower.
Okay.
Yeah, they usually come to me in the shower. So there have been times I have a dry erase marker in my bathroom because I write on my mirror. I write like affirmations and shit on my mirror.
Oh, really? Okay.
And there was one poem that I wrote called Gold. That was actually a sequel to a poem that I wrote before that called Yellow. It was my first happy poem that I ever wrote.
Okay.
It was a poem that I wrote after getting out of an abusive relationship. So it was just a very happy piece for me. Gold I wrote Yellow, I want to say in 2018. And I wrote Yellow I wrote in 2018. Gold I wrote in 2021. So that was just a piece that was like, I guess, a reflection of my power and where I am or where I was as a person versus where I was when I wrote Yellow. I feel like I'm rambling again. I know you said it's fine, but I forgot what the question was.
How do you navigate through writer's block?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the way that I wrote Gold was I wrote it all over my mirror and on my counter. I took a picture of it and everything. It's actually pretty cool. I might post it. It's pretty dope.
You should do that.
I might post it.
Yeah. People need that.
I'll think about it.
People need it, you know?
I also don't like my shit being judged though.
Why not?
I
thought you did slam poetry.
When I first started out as a slam poet, it was easy for me to be judged because I didn't give a fuck. Like back then I didn't care as much. Like I said, that was more when I was a lot more hungry and like I felt like at the time I had something to prove. Now that I'm a little bit older, it's not that I feel like I have anything to prove. I think it's more so just not feeling good enough. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I feel like I just don't feel like my work is good enough, so I don't put a lot of my stuff out anymore. Or I don't really write as much as I could be.
Damn. Okay. So to not to be too intrusive, but like, did you ever grow up with like confidence like issues or like concerns?
This is on camera. This is my business.
Well, that's what I said. It's not too intrusive. We don't have to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Pivot. Have you felt the weather? No, I'm joking. No. Okay. So, do you think you would ever like become like a judge?
No.
Why not?
I would never want to be a judge. I would never want to be a judge in a system like this.
No. Not like a judicial judge. Like my fault. Like a slam poet judge.
I've been a judge once and I didn't like it.
Really? What didn't you like about it?
I didn't like it. I felt bad. Because it's already so hard to get up on stage anyway. Yep. And yeah, it's already really difficult to get up on stage and share yourself with a room full of strangers. And I don't know. I don't mind editing people's stuff. I don't mind giving people advice or whatever. I don't mind that. But scoring somebody's shit just feels, I don't know. I just feel bad about it.
No, I feel you. I think I have that same kind of mindset when it comes to like judging people's creative work now, because like you said, like I think I just see I know how much courage and shit it takes to like not only record something but then like edit it and like put it out for the world to see. And so I try to keep that in mind, like even when I hear music or something or like see a movie or just anything that took creative effort and personal courage, I really try to have I try my best to have like a certain approach to it of like that understanding first of like, hey, it took a lot of courage and just kahungas, to put it to fucking put it out there, especially in this world where some, we live in a time where someone can come across a creative work that you may have put hours, maybe days, maybe weeks into, and they can just come across it because of the random algorithm, feel like getting some steam off, say some crazy shit, and keep it moving. Probably forget about your video. Every now, because my videos don't really haven't really hit a whole bunch of topics where people could come in talking crazy. But there have been a few videos
what
where
somebody say?
like with the one, I'll talk about this on camera too. I don't care. I had to block this person. One person that I was cool with, we're no longer cool. He called my show demonic. And I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah. And he called it a liberal cesspool.
A what?
A liberal cesspool.
Who are your friends?
Well, he's no longer my friend. And the crazy thing is, he has a creative work.
I'm trying to figure out how you slipped through the cracks. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you ask that. We can talk about this. We can really talk about this because
you sound like you want to talk about
it. Low-key, I'm about to go have a little bit of wine. I'm about to talk about this.
I'm crying.
Because the crazy thing is, like, he has a creative outlet. I'm not even gonna say what it is because it would be then to those who know it would be obvious. But he has a creative outlet, and I'm just like, it's just funny how once you start really expanding and putting yourself out there, people's kind of the way people feel about you has more of a chance to come out because now it's like, oh, there's something tangible that they can kind of judge as opposed to just you as a person in their head. And I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting seeing because I've been doing this for about 2 years. What you mean?
It's a matter of perspective. And I'm not talking about this situation because he called your shit demonic. Like what?
Yeah. Wow.
I'm just talking about like in general. Like I do think we need to start looking at other people's perspective on things and just letting it be a perspective. But then there are situations like what you just said that's just pure bullshit, and you kind of just gotta let that shit roll off your shoulder. Cause what the fuck do you mean my show is demonic?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why did he give you examples or explain?
Well, I love a good biblical debate as long as it stays.
Arguing about the Bible.
See, I don't like arguing either, but I'll take a good debate.
I know I don't mind a debate. I'm just saying going back and forth about just religion in general.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't.
And I'll be trying not to, but it's one of them things.
It's such a long-winded. It is literally just a matter of perception.
Yeah,
it's a matter of like how you feel. I'm not about to argue with you about how the fuck you feel. I'm not about to do that shit.
Yeah. But that's I think with religion sometimes it's hard for people to separate objectivity and subjectivity. And that's how people end up in cults. Seriously, faith. Faith is a. Faith.
Can you just give me like a little bit of how this shit happened?
So basically, I've always wanted to be like a pastor, preacher to a degree. Like that was like the first thing I ever wanted to be, and so my parents were like staunch Christians. We went to church a lot.
Are you a Christian?
Yeah, I'm
spiritual.
Yeah, like I really fuck with the concept of Jesus. Like I love I love Jesus. But like I just don't know at this point in my life. I really tried to be like I was like a devout Christian in college, which is how I ended up in the cult. But it's
cracking me up. Like what?
I don't know. I don't know if I can take it literally. That's my whole thing. My whole thing with the Bible is, it's like I'm willing to be cool with all like the majority of this stuff as long as we look at it allegorically and not literally.
Allegorical. Another one of those words that I've heard of, but I can't remember what they mean.
Like.
Why are you apologizing? Why are you apologizing for being smart? What?
I don't know. I'm like, well, maybe that's an unnecessary word. I don't know. You know,
I
but
apologize.
allegories like tortoise and the hare, like a story like with an
Oh, that has a lesson.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it's not literal.
You're basically saying to look at the Bible like folklore.
Yeah, like but with some real like, well, I don't not necessarily folklore, but like just
Personally, I feel like that's essentially what it is. I'm not saying that, some of that stuff didn't happen, but I do feel like a lot of it was embellished.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. Which I'm
do I
cool
think that
with.
Jesus existed? Yes, I do think that there was a Jesus, but the way that people interpret the Bible in general is just so fascinating to me because people really use it as a way to justify their very harmful thoughts and ideologies. Like people use religion to be awful human beings.